something for you to do, but he cannot use you if you're not where you ought to be spiritually. Everybody want to be used by God, but what about the preparation time before God can use you? You got to be right spiritually. You have to be prepared spiritually. God don't need anybody that's dibbling and dabbling trying to be used by him. We have too many imposters, but God said, I need somebody that loves me enough that they'll give it up, whatever it takes. They'll lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset them. God said, get your house in order. Set thine house in order. Say yes, say yes, say yes. I'm sure when Hezekiah, when he turned his face to the wall, and the Bible said he began to pray and wept sorely, I'm sure he was repenting, saying, Lord, I'm sorry. I thought I had it together. Lord, I'm sorry. I thought I was right with you. Lord, I'm sorry. I thought I was praying enough. Lord, I'm sorry. I thought I was studying enough. Lord, I'm sorry. I thought I was fasting enough. I thought I was coming to church enough. But God is saying to you, look over your life. Look over yourself. We can't afford to deceive ourselves. God said, I'm sending you a word. Get it right. Set it right. Be right. Live right. Walk right. Talk right. Smell right. Do it right. He's calling you. He's calling you. Get it right. Set thine house in order. That's what God said. Set or get thine house in order. Your life. You know, you need to rearrange some things. Some of you are putting too much time in other areas. That's why he told him to set thine house in order. Maybe some of you are so wrapped up in your job that you put God on the back burner. But God said, set your house in order. But you said, I'm so spiritual. I know I'm strong in the Lord. But something must be missing. Because God said, set your house in order. You're not what you thought you were. You're not where you thought you were. And God said, set thine house in order. You, the individual, God said, set your house in order. You, the individual, God saying, get your house in order. That's what he's saying. God said, I need you to get it right because I'm depending on you. God said, I called you before you were born. I called you to work for me. I called you to live for me. I called you to walk for me. I called you to talk for me. But God said, I can't use you when you're tied up in sin. If you're bound with addictions, I can't use you. If you got alcohol problems, I can't use you. If you got cigarette problems, I can't use you. If you dibble and dab with drugs because they mess with your mind. But God said, I'm trying to get you where you need to be. God said, I need you to get your house in order, to set your house in order, because I created you. God said, for my glory. God said, I created you for my will, for my purpose. Set thine house in order. Set set your house in order. Don't deceive yourself. Don't fool yourself. You want to make sure that everything you do is right with God. One thing I want to commend every one of you that are here today. You did something very special. You came to church. And that can never be understated. Come on, give God a hand for you because you made the right choice. You came to church. That can never be understated. The fact that you came to church put you in a position to get what you need. It saves a lot when you come to church, even if you come with all kind of stuff in your life. Because church is where you get help at. You can't get help sitting at home. And one of the main things the devil tells you, don't go to church because you know you ain't right. Well, if you stay at home, you never get right. Church is where you need to be. I don't care how bad your life gets, you need to come to church. You need to come to church. I don't care how deep you get caught up in sin. As far as you missing church, you need to come to church being deep in sin so you can get snatched out of that. Because you can't get help if you're sitting at home. And that's the trick of the devil. He's always going to tell you, you shouldn't come to church. You know you faking. No, you just come so you can get some help. Church is where you get help. This is the house of God. If you don't come to church, you can't be helped. So don't ever think you too dirty to come to church. Because that's the devil that want to tell you that. But the church is where you get cleaned up. That's where we get help at church. So no matter how much you're struggling, come to church. Come to church. Because you never know that Sunday, that Friday, that Wednesday that you missed might have been the day that the Lord was going to just swoop in and just change your heart. And all of a sudden put you on a whole path that changed your life forever. You can miss your blessing by missing church. Matter of fact, you miss your blessing when you miss church. So don't stay at home. I don't care how bad you feel about yourself. Because that's the devil that tells you to stay at home. That you shouldn't come to church. That you too much of a sinner. That you're a hypocrite, that you're faking. He's telling you that because he don't want you to come to church. Because he knows if you come to church, no matter what your situation is, he knows if you come to church, there's a great chance you're going to be delivered. You're going to be set free. So no matter what, come to church. No matter how bad you feel about your spiritual, personal, emotional, physical life, come to church. Because this is where you get the help you need. And don't let your children be an excuse to miss church. I've had people when their children were small, they said, I would come to church, but my kids are going to be all over the church. Bring them to church, they'll learn. We had a lot of kids in here who was wild. And they grew up and they started getting better. I'm looking around now, I see some of these teenagers was real wild when we first started here. Jazz used to run so much all over the church, back home, everywhere. Nobody could keep her in line. I mean, she just take off. Running all over the church. Running everywhere. But see, look at her now. There's a lot more in here. Church is where the children get up. So don't ever use that as an excuse to let the devil tell you, I'm not coming to church because my kid's too bad. No, this is where they get help. This is where your children get help. Your family get help. We all need to be in church. This is where you get help. So don't ever let the devil use that tactic on you. That you can't come to church because your children are going to do this and going to do that.